Hey there folks, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be personal in that I'm going to delve into some health issues that I had and what that looks like. Now at the beginning of the video you may have seen me wearing a big old honkin' hat, and there's a story behind that. And I am going to be the very first to admit I have not been as careful as I should have been with the intense sun and managing how I protect my skin. I have a history of really bad skin, and essentially that came up when I was in California. So my dermatologist recommended these wonderful Tilly hats. I absolutely love them. I think they look nice, but the main reason was to just basically protect my really European type of skin from the intense sun. And for the most part, these Tilly hats do a super job. They're vented so they breathe, and they cover the head and the forehead really well. Now, there's a problem if you're someone like me and got a bit of a honker of a nose. As a matter of fact, I'll show you from past videos just exactly the region that got really damaged over the years. And in these 6 years of being here, essentially the sun has come in at an angle and just kind of managed to skip past the brim and go right here on the bridge of the nose. So I noticed more and more sore places all over my face and head, and really tender to the touch, and they never got better month after month. So I figured, you know what, it's time to have all that looked at by the professionals. So I went locally to Sierra Vista to a company called Epiphany Dermatology. Now they're not in any way sponsoring this video. It's just me trying to be helpful to other folks to tell you about this. So I learned I have lots and lots of what's called actinic keratoses. Now if you're a dermatologist, I might not be pronouncing that correctly. Now the good news is that they do not, as a rule, lead to actual skin cancer in most cases, and serious complications from those that are not treated happens between 1 and 5%. But I'm like, I don't even like those odds, so let's get it taken care of. And I also learned that actinic keratoses is really common for older adults, especially of European ancestry. Now, I don't want to bore you with all the details, but I thought it might be kind of fun just to show you what ancestry.com found out about my genetic makeup. A fun little side note is that my brother, who's now in heaven actually, who was 2 years older than me, looked actually Puerto Rican. And his DNA swung towards my mom's. My mom was 10% Nigerian, Ghanaian, African. And so, but good old dad was mostly Welsh, Scot, and Brit. And so you can imagine who I got my skin from. So I felt the staff at Epiphany Dermatology were very thorough. The technician that saw me took a sample from this region on the bridge of the nose, the really ugly, obvious damaged area, and had it sent off. And fortunately it came back as non-dangerous or non-melanoma. Okay, if you haven't fallen asleep now or stopped watching the video, we'll tell you a little bit more. I'm going to tell you about what they did to treat it. And by the way, I'm really happy with the results. They did fix the issues with the sore patches on my face. And they used something called the blue light. Think Kmart blue light special for those of you who are a little older. Essentially what they did is they put a box around my head that I couldn't escape from, and it was super hot in there, and they basically had a blue light going, essentially treating the entire front and back, because there's issues on the back of my neck too, with this blue light. And I don't know too much about the medical scenario behind that, but I will tell you that I couldn't believe how uncomfortable it got. I tend to have a high pain tolerance, but after 5 minutes, I wanted to leave really, really badly. But I stuck it out, and what ended up happening, in a few days, you could see the results. Now, I was told that if your skin turns like Freddy Krueger in Halloween 13, that's a good sign. It means that the blue light did its thing. And sure enough, in about 3 days' time, wow, big, ugly, ugly looking red sores that looked awful and turned into big scaly patches that were angry looking, really, really ugly. Hope I'm not grossing you out, by the way. So what that meant was I could not go out in the sun or do any work or anything for days. And when I did go out, I had to be protected. So this is where I had to say goodbye to my wonderful Tilly hat and set it aside and then use this guy. This is a serious hat. It's got a drawstring to keep it on your head, which is important because it's like a big umbrella, and I can't tell you the number of times that it practically blew inside out. Actually it did, but stayed on my head because of this. I got it on Amazon. It wasn't very expensive, so for about 2 weeks I had this guy on, and I will tell you, it definitely keeps the sun off the front of your face and even the back of your neck. It does wonders. So it looks interesting, but it's very, very functional. We haven't got much in the way of monsoon rain yet, so I want to make sure my little Carolina blue cypress has a bit of water when it needs it. Also, it's a tough little tree, I'll tell you. You can see the damage the mule deer did to it, but tough little tree that it is, it says, oh, I don't think so. You're not going to stop my life. So I decided I better give it a hand, and I put wire all the way around it, and it's really coming along great. And I think it's going to make a full recovery, and someday be a gorgeous, gorgeous tree. So I wore it for a couple weeks, and I kind of got used to it. It was a little awkward, like going in and out of the door even. And sometimes just seeing where things were in front of me. But it still was super useful, and I did my time with it. So it might be quite obvious in some of my recent videos that I've got sunblock slathered on. I'm using this brand. It's called CeraVe 30 or CeraVe, I don't know how you pronounce it. Anyway, it absorbs into the skin quite nicely, and it's rated to do a really good job of protecting you. So I'm going to consider this video a resounding success. If any of you who decide to move to Southeast Arizona, like I did, decide to take a lot better care of your skin and stay protected from the Arizona sun. Also, this is a really good time just to thank again many of the people who have checked out my Amazon wish list and been really, really kind and have sent me gifts. Really, really appreciated. And also wanted to apologize. The link didn't work a couple videos ago, and I fixed it, and that should be working fine. So I hope this video was helpful in some way, folks. Give things a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when that next video is coming up. Speaking of, in my next video, I should be able to show you the completed cinder block steps. Totally stoked about that, that's for sure. So we'll see ya on the next video.